Late Siege is one of the easier challenges in Art of War for Age of Empires 4. It pretty much hinges on the development of 3 trebuchets and working them through the entirety of the enemy base in order to accomplish the destruction of your 3 objectives. Immediately start the development of your 3 trebuchets and place the waypoint for their spawn directly behind the troops as you push them forward towards the enemy walls. I start by placing a scout on the left and a scout on the right, just in enough of a viewpoint that I have access to attack the enemy barricade walls with my trebuchets and take down the initial towers on the left and the right hand sides. I also move my elephants forward, as well as the rest of my remaining troops, to give myself a great buffer to protect my trebuchets from any incoming damages, as the enemy troops will exit the gate to waylays to your troops. You want to set up a strong perimeter around your trebuchets because the enemy will immediately rush your trebuchets and try and destroy them instead of working to fight against you. Start to bring your trebuchets forward and balance the attacks of 2 to the left hand side and the 1 to the right, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter as long as you're evening out the damage, because you want to make sure that as soon as these 2 towers are done, you have an opportunity to focus all of those attacks towards the center gate, thus bringing out the enemy combatants to push towards your troops and giving you control of the situation as you move advancing up the hill. This is a relatively passive strategy, but also helps you to maintain consistency at reproducing its effects. After you destroy the first 2 towers, start to push some of your troops slightly forward towards the gate walls, and the enemy combatants will end up coming out to rush your trebuchets. Make sure, as I was saying, to attack them as they're coming in to the best of your abilities. Push your archers forward and your elephants to try and help keep them spread apart and keep your trebuchets safe. They're crucial to the success of this mission. Make sure during this time that your trebuchets are still attacking the center walls and towers to help clear your position to be ready to push forward and enter their base. It's a relatively easy push up the hill, and you should stay safe without too much damage to your siege engines that are going to be doing all of the work here once you get inside. As your trebuchet takes down the center tower, start to push your troops of infantry and the elephants up the hill towards the center destructed point, and help your archers to focus on the archers that remain on the enemy siege walls. They don't do a ton of damage, but over a period of time, they will end up breaking your trebuchets. It's a minor focus, but they need to go down. If you place your archers on the west wall, it also gives you a vantage point to help take down the cavalry that comes over from the westernmost objective, giving you an opportunity to pull them individually and weaken the enemy forces without too much damage taken to your group. You can safely keep your trebuchets in the rear just outside of the broken wall, attacking the central structure and helping to destroy it with relative ease and not too much threat from the surrounding troops. Use any opportunities that you have to defend yourself against that central structure of enemy troops standing just outside of the objective, as well as the forces that end up rushing towards you as you push into their village and base. Make sure that you've cleared the walls from the left and the right hand side of the majority of archers so that they don't do any excess damage to your trebuchets as you move them slowly up the hill into the center of the town. From here, you can pick a direction, east or west, and help you devise the plan to defend your trebuchets as you start to do damage to the other 2 remaining objectives. I personally feel that the left side's a little easier to attack and defend against because you can use your spearmen or pikemen polearms in order to defend against the troops of cavalry as they start to rush your trebuchets, and the trebuchets can maintain attacking distance, still focusing on the objective, while you use your infantry to take down the enemy infantry and keep your trebuchets safe. After they start to dwindle down the enemy combatants' objective, you can wait until the absolute last moment as they get close to ending for the damage, and then move your trebuchets out to prepare for the next objective, as well as bringing your infantry along the moment you've cleared out the cavalry. You'll see here that I send my scouts in to finish off the job over on the western objective as I move the entirety of my remaining infantry base over to the right hand side for the last objective and immediately put my trebuchets into position to start doing massive damage to the third objective, finalizing out our campaign. From here it's smooth sailing. Defend yourself against the last remaining forces as they push towards your trebuchets, and make sure that you don't lose your siege engines. You've got the gold here in sight. Assuming that there's no remaining enemy troops that might threaten your trebuchets, feel free to send all of your infantry units towards the third objective to allow you for the quickest speed at completing this challenge. You should have the gold at this point, and if not, feel free to shoot me any questions so that I can try and help you accomplish this objective for a relatively easy win. Thanks for watching again, and I appreciate you taking the time to enjoy my videos here. Feel free to watch the other ones that appear in the playlist. If you've been following all my guides up to this point, this should mean that this is the last challenge to help you achieving gold in all of the Art of War challenges for Age of Empires 4. Thanks again.